Hey everyone, Dan at Ochiko Bushcraft. Well, in a previous video, I mentioned that we have a prepping slash survival store right here in Prineville, Oregon. The store is called Prepper Up, and it is wall-to-wall survival gear. I mean, everything you need for prepping, putting together survival kits, food storage, all the way up to firearms, etc. Just everything. And recently, the owner expanded his line of brands of food he was carrying, not only from Mountain House, but to Peak Refuel. So he asked me to take a couple of these Peak Refuel meals out and sample something and tell him what I thought of it. And really, really cool to be able to do that. So I have been using Mountain House out here for years. You guys have seen me in probably quite a few videos over the years cook these at various times, and I really like the Mountain House. So I've never tried the Peak Refuel meal. Today, and for you guys, is going to be the very first time ever. But what I discovered interesting, and it's going to come down to taste. So here's two identical meals. It is early morning. I'm ready for breakfast. This is a breakfast skillet from Mountain House, which has shredded potatoes, scrambled eggs, pork sausage, peppers, and onions in it. I've had these quite a few times and they are good. And they cost around 10 bucks locally. Here is a Peak Refuel breakfast skillet. I like that it has a picture on the front. And it also has eggs, sausage, potatoes, and peppers. But it costs a little more, $12.95. So I can see when someone comes into the store and they look at these side by side and they'll go, well, this one's $2 cheaper. I think I'll grab it. But I got to doing some figuring on a calculator. And what I found out was if you figure out the price per calorie, the Peak Refuel meals are actually less expensive. So this meal at about 10 bucks has 520 calories. This meal coming in at, was it $12.95, has 680 calories. So I did some quick math on a calculator and found out that per calorie, the Peak Refuel is actually cheaper. Not only that, but the nutrition content is much higher. For example, breakfast skillet here, 14 grams of protein per serving, which comes out to 28 grams total for this, and 39 grams of protein for this one. And we're going to try this here in just a few minutes. Also picked up a chicken Alfredo pasta to try. I was intrigued by this because if you look at similar Mountain House and other backpacking meals, same type of flavor, chicken and noodles, chicken and rice, chicken pasta, whatever, they all average anywhere probably 25 to 30 grams of protein for the meals. 53 grams of protein. I mean, this is weightlifting food. I like this. This is 53 grams of protein, and most of those meals, the chicken noodles and rice and things like Mountain House, for example, the calories are say 500 and some to 600 and some, whereas the calories in this is a whopping 870. I mean, that is an awesome end of the day meal when you've been out here doing bushcraft or on the trail. 870 calories, 53 grams of protein. Your muscles are going to be completely refueled. So on another day, we're going to try this one. We're going to do the breakfast this morning. I got to tell you about this other thing he gave me to try. So I actually tried one of these at home and really like this. So Peak Fuel has a re-energizing hydration blend, and you get 10 little packets in here. So these little sticks like this, and basically you just open up your cup, stir that in. I chose raspberry lemonade, which actually tasted really, really good. But check this out online, guys. Just type it in, Peak Refuel, re-energizing hydration blend, mountain berry lemonade. The ingredients in it, it has caffeine in it, so that's going to boost your energy. but it also has things in it, nitric oxide boosters. If you're into weightlifting, you're familiar with that. Basically expanding the blood vessels so that more oxygen and more nutrients get all throughout the body faster. So it extends your energy, improves performance, increases your focus. Zero sugar, no artificial sweeteners, colors, or flavors. Botanically sourced caffeine. Contains, let's see, 125% of vitamin C, 335% of vitamin D3, 170 some percent of vitamin B6. Here's a big one, vitamin B12, which is your energy. 625, is that right? Yeah, 625% of vitamin C. Plus it has in the arginine, white beetroot extract, L-citrulline, which I actually use before my workouts in the morning for energy, and that works really good. Taurine and some other, roots and different things in it. Just a really extensive formula. Added vitamins, minerals, nitric oxide optimization. So this stuff is cool, and it tastes really good. I can tell you, for me, it tasted good. The raspberry lemonade, I know there's at least one other flavor, maybe more, but I can vouch for this. At Prepper Up, it's about 15 bucks. Not sure on Amazon or anything, but that gives you 10 of those drinks, and afternoon, you're yawning, you've been hiking, whatever. That's going to give you the boost that you need to get going. So let me turn you guys around. I can't cook these both side by side because that's too much for me to eat, and I can't afford to just waste the food. But I can tell you, I've had the Mountain House breakfast skillets many, many times. I think they are really good. Big difference here between the two. Again, the formula, or the recipe, not formula I should say, for potatoes, eggs, sausage, peppers, pretty much the same ingredients. 680 calories versus 520. What was it? 28 grams of protein versus 39 grams of protein. And if I start looking at some of the other nutrients, there is a little bit more, vitamin D, iron, potassium. So the vitamin mineral is a little bit higher in this. So remembering how good this was, I'm going to be able to give an honest opinion on that. So here's our little tear spot right here. Oh, that's a toughie. Urgh. Okay, let's cook it right in the pouch. Don't cook the oxygen absorber. And wow, that smells good. I want to see if you guys can see that. Look at that. You can see the eggs and the sausage and the peppers and everything all up on top. That looks absolutely delicious. All right, I'll pause you guys and turn you over here. Fire season again. Still got 2 months probably before I can do fire, so I'm just going to have to use my little isobutane stove. All right, get this turned on. And if you guys can see the flame, but it's on high, and I have, just to show you, I have 2 cups of water in there, and we'll just bring that up to a boil. In fact, make it boil a little faster. Bring that up to a boil and try out this breakfast skillet. I'm excited to try this. And I know these are on Amazon, and I know that they're in other backpacking stores. I've seen them in Dick's Sporting Goods, probably REI and such. But I've never stopped to try one for the simple fact, one, I've used Mountain House for so many years, and two, when I did glance at them, I seen, oh, well, those are a couple bucks more, which is probably what most people do. But it was real interesting to sit down with a calculator. Here's an even better example. This one at Prepper Up here in Prineville, $10.95. A meal with, say, chicken and noodles, chicken and rice, similar recipe, is only $1 difference for like 200 less calories. So you start figuring out price per calorie, and the Peak Refuel on a meal like this is actually quite a bit cheaper than the Mountain House. And if you're doing much out here, well, you're building shelters and hiking, cutting firewood especially, calories are important. And 870 calories in this. I'm looking forward to trying this one. Probably will wait after today. I will probably save this one until fire season's over so we can cook over the fire. But go ahead and bring this to a boil and bring you guys back, and we'll try that breakfast skillet out. Okay guys, I got me a good boil going, good hard boil. 2 cups of water on this one. I'm gonna try this out here. Oh yeah. Ooh, burned my hand just about there. Remember to use gloves when you use these. All right, we're gonna seal that up. See, I know we need to stir, so we'll give it a stir here. And then I need to let it sit for 10 minutes, it's telling me. And stir it again. Put my glove on here. That's bag, same with the Mountain House, are too hot to hold once you get the hot water in there. So get that stirred up really good. And just see if we've got horse flies out like crazy. So yeah, you guys can see that. That looks good, and that smells good. Wow. I got a feeling that's going to be good. All right, we got 10 minutes to wait. Stir it again. And so I've got a log over here to sit on. I'm going to just move the camera over there, wait my 10 minutes, bring you guys back, and give this the official Ochiko Bushcraft taste test. By the way, guys, on the directions I was wrong. I thought it said 10 minutes. I took a closer look and it said 15 minutes. And then of course stir it up again. So we still got a few minutes left here. But I wanted to give it a good stir again. And I can taste the flavor. We'll wait till we can get a good bite in. I really like having these meals in my pack. You know, during the winter, when I've got a base camp set up, I'm more likely to bring in heavier foods. Sometimes I'll just even bring in like a big can of stew or something and cook that up, or macaroni and cheese, and chop up some sausage like kielbasa or something in it. And I'm not so much worried about weight because I set up a base camp and I carry wool blankets and a canvas tarp, so my pack's much heavier. Once camp's set off, I can take off and explore and whatever. But I like to have a base camp in the winter, and whereas summer, I like to just go. So meals like this that weigh nothing in the pack, and then, man, 680 calories, that's a big breakfast. I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to hike an extra mile today to burn that off. But you know, that's needed out here really a lot of times, especially when you're on the go and you are carrying a pack and you're hiking uphill, and maybe spring or fall, stop and gather firewood and everything. Calories are welcome. So I got a few minutes here. I'll just time that off, come back, and give you guys my opinion on the taste. All right, taste test time. Peak Refuel breakfast skillet. And by the way, in the description, just in case you are in Central Oregon or down here to visit, I'll put contact info on Prepper Up. They're here in Prineville, Oregon, right on 3rd Street, I believe it is. It runs right through the middle of town. Boy, these bees and horseflies and things are all over this morning. Okay, there it is. You guys can see, look at all that. Potatoes, eggs, tons of sausage. That's definitely a lot bigger meal than the Mountain House. So, taste test. Hot. That is good. That is really, really good. Wow. I'm gonna take another one of those. That is wow. Got a big red pepper in that one. Mmm. That is good. I'm gonna seal this up for a second. I don't want the flies and things getting in it. Wow, what can I tell you guys? So in my opinion, it needs salt. The Mountain House doesn't need any salt added. It's pretty salty. I have little packets of salt and pepper that are always with me. So if I add a little salt to this, it will be just perfect. But flavor of the actual meal, for me, my opinion, that is much better than the Mountain House. And the Mountain House is good. When I eat the Mountain House, it's good, but it tastes like I am eating a freeze-dried backpackers meal that tastes good. Whereas this, with the addition of a little salt and pepper, if you put that on a plate, it actually tastes closer to something that you would eat in a restaurant. And that, if that makes sense to me, that's my taste buds. That's the difference. The Mountain House tastes like a good backpackers, freeze-dried dehydrated meal. This tastes like, with some salt and pepper, which you put on your food anyway at a restaurant, tastes more like something that would come on a plate at a restaurant than a backpacker's meal. And that's crazy. It tastes as good as the picture looks. That's the truth. And again, you figure out, maybe depending on where you get them, but local here in town, this is cheaper per calorie. This is a monster breakfast. I never have a breakfast this big. You guys look at that again. Just how much that is. There's darn near 700 calories in here. I'm not going to need very much food for lunch. I'm going to be full for half the day. Wow, peak refuel. Okay, guys, 2 thumbs up and part of another finger. That is absolutely delicious. I'm impressed. And now that I know, and again, shout out to Prepper Up and the owner, Todd. Thanks, Todd, for setting me up with a couple free samples to try out. I could not be happier, and maybe he did it on purpose because now he's got me hooked, and I'm actually going to go back and start buying these things. So maybe this whole thing was pre-planned, pre-engineered. But that is absolutely delicious. And will I continue to buy Mountain House? Yes, for some of the flavors that I really like that Peak One may not have. And of course, this is only one. I need to compare all my other favorites that they do have in both to see, how Peak Refuel and Mountain House compare on others. So it's going to be a process of comparing head-to-head other flavors before I make a total switch. But now I am definitely going to pick some up in, I think there was a pasta marinara that looked really good. I'm going to pick some of those up. I'm going to keep buying the hydration drinks because those things are good and work. And I can tell you that on the breakfast skillets, I'll use up the rest of my Mountain House, but I won't buy anymore. This is that much better. So if other flavors hold true like this, I guess I'm going to end up switching mostly to Peak Refuel again, unless there's certain flavors that only Mountain House has, but we'll have to see. We'll have to take it flavor by flavor. So from time to time, when I'm cooking or doing something over a fire, we'll try them and I'll let you guys know how they compare and what I think. But as far as breakfast skillet, and again, price per calorie, the amount of protein and calories you get, the nutrition, 2 thumbs up. This is fantastic. And if you're a fan of the Mountain House breakfast skillet and you haven't tried this Peak Refuel, I would highly recommend you give it a try. Dan at Ochiko Bushcraft, guys. Take care, everyone.